Hi, I'm Alex. I'm the CPO and co-founder of PioneerIP. On PioneerIP, we deal with patent infringement monitoring. As you must know, patent infringement happens only after the patent is granted, but we found a really peculiar way to work with pending applications as well. So 3 products on the platform in total, 2 dealing with granted patents and 1 dealing with non-yet granted patent, meaning patent applications. Let's start from the basics. For the patent infringement, goes as easy as input the patent number and choose whether to search for all the independent or the first independent claim only of this given patent. You can associate the search with any given patent portfolio or create a new one to your liking. You can also go through the advanced search and search patents by assignee or keywords or dates of publication of the application. What it will give us is a result which will produce patent and a comparison of this given patent to products available on the market with evidence of infringement being found online. This is to say that whatever can be found online will be found online. The way we work is to go to the patent itself and mimic the steps a human searcher will take. So it means reading the claim, reading the specification all through, but it's not enough for understanding of the claim. So we read also the citations, back citations and forward citations of the patent, and we read the classes of the patent itself. By the way, the patent concerned with a surgical drill for drilling a bone, having expandable tools at the far end of the drill, so we can create diameter 1 of the bore on the way in and a second wider diameter on the way out from the bone. Once we searched, we bring back a pile of results. Those results are being sorted according to relevancy. For each one of them, we can develop product summary. This product summary is AI generated based on highly relevant references. So from everything that we brought back from the online search, we rank the web pages according to relevancy, and only the highest ranks go into creating the product summary. This product summary uses us to be compared to the claims of the patent. So for each one, we create the similarity analysis. We tell the user what's different, which often helps a lot. And we also can show the claim chart, indicating the match between the element of the claim and the product itself. We will also provide the reasoning for this match ranking and the evidence for this reasoning. So for the patent practitioner, it's very easy to start working from here and start building a case. By the way, what we found, the accused device is found here. We said surgical drill. This is a surgical drill for drilling in bones. As you can see, it goes in to the bone with diameter 1, the width of the drill itself. Then it flips the tooth at the far end of the drill open and goes out of the bone, creating a wider diameter. Looks like exactly the same. This work allows us to move and work with portfolios. So in case an entity has not a single but multitude of patents, where it means that we can go in here, for example, using the same assignee, we can choose any amount of patents and combine a portfolio in whatever way of our liking. So for example, let's say those are 5 patents that are due for maintenance in the US in 2026. And I am, as IP manager, now considering a budget for 2026. So I'm thinking about whether to pay or not to pay for each one of those patents. Because we searched for infringement of each, we can now decide that, let's say, patents below threshold of 30% worse for pruning. So we can let those patents go and save money. By the way, each patent in the US for large entity, each patent costs $8,300 in the third payment. Just imagine the savings on two. It's 16.6 thousand already. And I'm saving the time of working on additional three. For each one, we developed the same structure as I've shown you before. But on top of that, if we go to the target companies report using it, we can look into all the companies that are potentially infringing on each one of those five, or some, at least one of those five. And we see the list of companies. We see the number of patents they appear in as potential targets. Total score of all the targets for this company in all the patents, and the average per patent. By the way, if we are not sure what the company is, we can go as far as to create a business intelligence report for the company. And based on the publicly available data, we will find out the revenue, the amount of employees, size of patent entity, the jurisdiction where the company sits, and other very meaningful data. But clearly it's not enough. We need to know the products that potentially infringe the patents. So we created the target products report, and in here we see that, for example, retroconstruction by Artrex infringes 750 patent with a normalized AI score of 10. We normalized this score to be able to compare products to products. It allows us better understanding of how we will structure out licensing company for our client. The client is TAG Medical in this case. That's a very practical solution for very much burning problem as of now. We can do the same at the claim level report, where we generate a report for a single company for all the products that this company has, and to the patent, to the score. In this case, the score is not normalized. Again, everything in here is used for building a strategy for out licensing campaign. So these are the two products that work with the granted patents. And if you recall, we said we also have an application for the pending patent. This is a truly unique feature. We can go in, and by inserting a published application number and inserting a claim text as the practitioner about to submit to USPTO, but has not submitted yet, we can search for this claim as if it was granted, which allows us truly to do the following. So in case, let's imagine, we received an office action. And in this office action, so the examiner in the USPTO told us, hey, your invention is not novel because of such and such. And you need to consider an amendment, and you should rewrite your claim in a way that it will make the claim patentable, basically insert limitations. So we now have two different variants of response to this office action. We have two different variants of the claim. We can run both through our system, and based on the results of the infringement search, we can choose the variant that is of most interest to the client. So all of a sudden, not only we work only with what the examiner said, but we actually move the needle towards the client and submitting responses to office action based on the increase in litigation value of the future patent. It means also that the patent practitioner is getting more work. Why? Because in this example, client received an office action where the examiner said, hey, claim 1 as is not patentable, claim 1 plus claim 2 is patentable. So we have now two options with the client. We can keep arguing claim one, or we can take the examiner's suggestion and get the allowance of claim one plus claim two. So we went to the client and we asked him, what is of more interest to you? The client said claim one, which truly means that the patent agent now works on response to office action that is billable, and then gets a notice of allowance work, which is billable as well. So instead of getting notice of allowance now, as if would happen with C1 plus C2, he gets C1 and then notice of allowance. We also create an opportunity to check for value of continuation filings, which often drives clients to file more continuations, because all of a sudden client sees the real targets in what he's doing and what the patent agent will do. So in that sense, we're not only serving the clients, we are also a business enabler for the patent practitioner. And basically, those three summarize what we have in PioneerIP. Thank you.